Okay. Hello there. So, doing tonight's post game, obviously from a remote location here in beautiful Palm Beach, Florida. Um, to celebrate, we're gonna celebrate. It's gonna be a good post game. We're gonna keep it happy because as much as our Knicks still suck, nothing has changed there. They still have no point guard. They are still not a very good team. We have on our hands a very exciting young player by the name of RJ Barrett. RJ Barrett tonight became the second Knick in history, 21 years or younger, to score at least 46 points in the game. He finished 1 point short of Carl Braun. Carl Braun, a name that not many people know, played for the Knicks long time ago. He accomplished the feat in 1947 against some team with the abbreviation PRO. I'm actually going to find out who that is. Yes, the Province Steamrollers, ladies and gentlemen. That is who Carl Braun accomplished his 47-point game against. RJ Barrett, of course, did it against the Heat. The difference, of course, being that Carl Braun, other than the fact that it was 1947, did this on 35 shots. RJ Barrett scored his 46 points on a mere 20. Make sure I got this right. 22 shots. It was a majestic night. It was a night that anybody who had any doubts left about this young man, what he's capable of, how important he is to the franchise, how much better of a prospect he is than anybody else on this roster. It's amusing to me that very, very silly and stupid people like myself had the audacity over the past couple of years to question whether or not he was the best asset on the team. He is the best asset on the team. He's the best player on the team. It's not close. He is the best thing the New York Knicks have going. It was a pleasure to watch him tonight. He was in command of all of his faculties. And the fact that he did it in the way that he did it tonight, with getting to the free throw line 22 times, as I just tweeted out a little bit ago, only 6 players in NBA history, age 21 or under, have ever gotten to the line more times in a game than RJ Barrett did tonight at 22. I mean, that's the way he needs to play. Throwing the 9 rebounds. It was annoying, by the way, that Julius Randle stole a rebound from him in the last few minutes of the game. Would have given him a 40-10 game, which would have been a nice feather in his cap. I'm not going to talk about Julius Randle tonight. I will talk about Julius Randle tonight. I'm not going to open by talking about Julius Randle tonight, or quite frankly, any other Knicks tonight, because none of the other guys who were on the floor deserved to have their names uttered in this opening monologue. This is a one-man show. Again, everybody else, not very good. RJ Barrett, freaking awesome. What does it mean moving forward? I think he is now at least entered the conversation of the sort of guy who stars around the league will look at what he did and look at what he's been doing, because this isn't one night. He's been doing this. Some people will be like, oh, he's been doing this for almost 3 seasons. I would argue against that. I will maintain that his rookie year was not a great year. Although terrible circumstances, he toughed it out. He put up his numbers. Good for him. But for me, this has been something that has been going on in earnest for 6 weeks to 2 months now. I think people around the league are taking notice. And I think people, again, we always jump the gun with this stuff. I don't want to talk about what stars are maybe potentially going to look here and be like, ooh, I want to play with that guy. There's obviously one very obvious name who may make himself someone that, teams may want to trade for in the near future. But this is about RJ, because the Knicks should just be happy they have him. I'm happy they have him. And I'll end this by saying, as someone who has been at times I will say lukewarm on RJ's ceiling, and and as someone who has doubted whether or not RJ had had those those things where you like watch a young player and be like, ooh, that dude's going to be a star someday. I was someone who pushed back on that, and I said I didn't like some of the stuff that I saw at times. I didn't love how he was around the rim. I basically that's it. I didn't love how he was around the rim, and I was like, how could someone who's that inconsistent around the rim ever turn out to be that great of a player when the thing that he's going to need to be great at is being able to convert around the rim, and specifically even more than that, get to the line. And tonight, again, getting to the line 22 times, being as manipulative as he was at getting to the rim, at converting around the rim. Obviously, the 3-pointers helped a lot tonight as well. Anybody who has the audacity to doubt RJ from here on in needs to have their head examined. He was that good. I have nothing else to say about him. And I have nothing else to say about this game because, again, the rest of the team stunk. And this team stinks. And I thought they would perhaps come out and make a little bit of a second half push behind Derrick Rose. Obviously, Derrick Rose did not play. This is the umpteenth game this year. And this year, this decade, this however many decades, this team doesn't have a point guard. It showed again, but such is life. All right. Got a lot of comments in the super chat. We are going to get to them right now. Starting off with one of my favorites, Haitian Ferg. Always appreciate you, Haitian. Appreciate the generous contribution. Missed Grimes when Miami went zone. Yeah, good job by you with something that should definitely be, I should have mentioned at the top. We hope Grimes is all right based on what the amateur Twitter doctors seem to be diagnosing him. Well, we know what he's diagnosed with. The sublugated patella, is that it? Seems like a 4 to 6 week thing. Wouldn't be shocked if we didn't see him again this year. Massive loss. Hurt tonight. It'll hurt moving forward, although it does clear up their rotation issues, but we'll get to that later. Anyway, missed free throws and unforced turnovers, huge unforced turnovers, really killed us. Nice to see RJ tonight, but Julius was a wet blanket. Quickly still can't run point. The kid played, but that was nice to see. But damn. Yeah, I mean, look, like, I'm not going to go on any kind of a silly rant tonight because nobody wants to hear that. But, like, there's a reason Quickly's not running point, at least for a team that is still trying to win games. He'll run a lot of point for the rest of this year because this team is going to transition to something other than winning games being the first priority. But then again, at the same time, it's like, was he worse than Kemba Walker? No. Is he a worse point guard than Alec Burks? I mean, I don't know. Yeah, but like, I don't, this is where I don't blame people for being angry that we've seen Point Burks so much this year. Like, what is he? Is he 5% better than Quickly? Is he 10% better than Quickly? Like, whatever it is, was it worth it for this team this year to do that? As opposed to just let Quickly work out the kinks? No, he's not a very good point guard right now. Maybe he'll never be a good NBA point guard or a good enough NBA point guard to warrant the type of minutes, at that position that a lot of people want to give him. But there's only one way to find out. And you saw a little bit of that tonight. It wasn't great. It happens. But yeah, the free throws, the sloppy ball movement. As for Julius, here's the sad thing. I actually thought Julius's process was pretty good tonight. It's literally everything else that was terrible. His execution was awful. His decision-making was terrible. He obviously couldn't hit a shot, but I thought he played hard. I thought he was fast. I didn't mind any of his shot attempts. He was just terrible. He just executed incredibly poorly. Good process, awful execution. Hannibal Miles, what's going on, Hannibal? I actually have no issues with the coaching tonight. Hannibal, I'm sure you're going to be one of the few. I'm sure somebody out there will come up with something or many things that the coach did wrong tonight. But again, I digress. Turnovers and free throws. One day we'll see a 50 spot from RJ. I thought we were going to get it tonight. I looked it up. I looked up all the guys in NBA history that had a 50 spot at age 21 or younger. I think it's only 8 or 9 guys. He was close. We'll get there. He'll get there. He may get there before the end of the season. He's good enough. He's talented enough. He's driven enough. So that's encouraging. Ryan Hoang, what's going on, Ryan? Good to hear from you. I'm happy tonight. RJ continues to prove he's a franchise cornerstone and another loss for the tank. Prayers for Grimes, though. That's a tough injury. Yeah, it is a tough injury. Again, Grimes, I think a lot of people have been saying, or were saying, especially after RJ went down, Grimes was the one guy on this team that like you could look forward to watching every night. He brought it hard on defense. His decision making was always sound. He played like a 10-year vet, made shots, good defense, the whole thing. And now he's probably going to be lost for the year. The only bright side, and I don't know if it's a bright side, but we'll take whatever silver linings we could get, right? We're Knicks fans. Is you're going to get a chance to see Cam. You're probably going to get a chance to see Deuce, whereas I think that was maybe up in the air a little bit. You're definitely getting Deuce now, especially with the Rose news. Moving forward, not the next couple games, but like once his team officially falls out of it. But yeah, it's a tough break. But he'll be fine. He'll be fine next year. He'll be a big part of the team next year. It sucks for him. He was putting together a great rookie year. Maybe had an outside shot at all rookie, but yeah, tough break for him, but looks like he's going to be okay. Kevin Danishevsky, what's going on, Kev? I will take tonight, except for the Grimes injury. Thank God, not more serious. Officials believe in the leap for RJ. Also, I think it's time to play Deuce. Yeah, I mean, look, again, we're past the point of the conversation where it's like, is Deuce the best player for this team right now? Is he the answer at point guard? Like, that doesn't matter. This team is, whatever that. I don't even care what the record is at this point. It doesn't matter. Throw the kid out there, see what he's got. But look, they're still trying to win games. How much longer does that go on for? Does it take another 2 losses in a row, 3 losses in a row, 4 out of 5, 5 out of 6, 6 out of 8? Like at some point, and look, I think it started tonight. I think you started to see like Obi Toppin coming in with 2 minutes and change left to go in the first quarter and staying in until there was like, he definitely stayed in there for, it seemed like at least his stint, given how and here's the thing. I know Julius didn't shoot it well to start. I thought Julius played pretty well at the beginning of the game. Obi still got 8 minutes of run, which is like more than you'd normally see. Was it enough for most people? Of course not. But he got some good run. You saw Jericho Sims get in there instead of Taj Gibson. I definitely think that was notable. Like, again, all of these things you have to think. There has been ample communication between the front office and Tom Thibodeau over the last several days, week, whatever, in which it's like, okay, you could still try to win games. You could still try to play your vets, but like enough with the Taj Gibson bullshit. Enough with the Nerlens Noel, whether or not Nerlens Noel was even available tonight. Like, give Obi some run. Give Quickly some run at point guard. Like, do all of these things. Like, meet us halfway. And tonight, it felt like Tibbs was trying to meet them halfway. It didn't work out, obviously, because the kids weren't very good. Nobody was very good other than RJ Barrett. But it was, it was encouraging to see. But yeah, we need more Deuce. No other way to say it. Mello from Toronto, what's going on, my man? John and KFF, I've missed y'all. Yeah, no, I've missed you guys too. It's been, although I have to admit, it's been very nice to get away and get a little mental break. This is RJ's team. Yes, it is. I don't care about the outcome. I'm glad this was in front of a national TV. Yeah, good call there. I actually didn't watch the national TV broadcast. I watched the Miami broadcast because I was down here and I was just curious to hear what a Heat broadcast was like. I wasn't very impressed. They love them some Tyler Herro, let me tell you. By the way, F ESPN's halftime crew for not acknowledging RJ's performance, and F Stephen A. Yeah, I don't. As you guys who have listened to me for some time now know, I don't pay any attention to ESPN. It's a waste of time. And it's a waste of your time. So don't pay attention. Robert Cross, what's going on, Robert? How are things down in the Isles? First time, long time, or excuse me, down in San Diego. First time, long time, John. This setup is throwing me off. I apologize. RJ is the number 1 option. # Cutlets will never let you down. Look, what RJ is as an NBA player, what his ceiling is will bear itself out over the coming years. It doesn't matter though right now because the Knicks know they have a cornerstone. Whether he's a number one or a number two, doesn't matter. They have a 21-year-old kid who can go out there and score an efficient 46 points, and moments never too big. He's made for the city. He's made for the stage. The notion that they would trade him this summer, there's no realistic trade package that RJ Barrett that conversation is done. Whereas that was a very real conversation, before the season, with the whole Dame thing. At least that conversation's over. We could put that behind us, and you could just move forward and say, look, okay, we have one of our guys. What is he? We'll see. But we have one of our guys. So that's great. And that's all I really care about. Matt Smith, what's going on, Matt? Trying to think of good things in the future, like Zion being in blue and orange. Julius, this year's pick, and what else is the cost in your mind? It only took 7 comments, 6 comments to get to the first Zion question. Look, I wrote it today. I don't think Zion's ever going to play another game for the Pelicans. I think he's going to ask out this summer, or he's going to make it very here's how it's going to go. They're going to offer him some kind of extension, whether they offer him the full boat or they offer him something less than the full boat. He's not going to agree. And then, the bidding war will be on. And the Knicks are going to be one of several teams who are going to be in on that. What's it going to cost? The notion that, Randall's going to be some, significant part of the package is, I think if you're New Orleans and you trade, even with the injury issues, because obviously those are significant. If you're trading a guy like Zion Williamson, you have to get back the best young player available, unless you have a guy in Zion who is making a lot of noise and is going to try to dictate where he goes. And I think he's going to be like a lot of guys, and he's going to have his list of teams, and it's not going to be one team or two teams. I think he's going to have teams at the top of his list. I think the Knicks will be on the list. I think the Heat will be on the list. Probably another team or two. And it's who wants to pay the price? And here's the other part about it that's tough with New Orleans is they have so many picks already, and a lot of those picks are from the Lakers, who might not be very good in a few years or next year. The Lakers picks, those are valuable. So, how many first-round picks do you need if you're New Orleans? That's why I said you got to get the best young player available. Can the Knicks, find themselves in a 3-way deal or a 4-way deal where they could send that player to New Orleans? But it's tough because, you look at all the teams around the league who might trade a really good young player, like Oklahoma City. Oklahoma City has Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. First of all, they probably want Zion Williamson. Even if they didn't, if Zion didn't want to go there, they have a million picks themselves. So it's not like the Knicks are going to trade picks there and then send SGA to New Orleans. It's going to be really tough. Zion's going to need to play a big part in the process. And, oh, by the way, the Knicks are going to have to be convinced that they want to invest everything in a guy who's played however many NBA games he's played in the last 3 years. I don't know. It's going to be a really tricky situation, but I expect it to be the storyline that dominates this summer. That's for sure. We'll see. Jessica, what's going on, Jessica? Good to see you. I've missed you. There's a few positives to walk away from this with. We're probably not going to win many games, so we might as well find the bright spots where we see them. Of course, RJ was phenomenal tonight. He's just going to get better and better. Yeah. Listen, RJ was bright enough that we didn't need any other bright spots tonight. I did think that for people who still care about such things, I did think they came out and played hard tonight. Thought they played hard throughout. I thought their process was good. Again, for the most part, they were just outclassed. They were outclassed by a better team, and they couldn't make shots. Other than this is a scary thing that I'm going to look up. Other than RJ Barrett, the Knicks tonight shot, 17 of 53. That's not great. That's not great. That is like 31%. You're not going to win many games when you shoot 31% against the Heat, who are like the third or fourth or fifth best offense in the league. Not great. By the way, this from Fred Katz. Thank you, Fred. Per Tom Thibodeau, or per Fred Katz, I should say. This is a Tom Thibodeau quote. Oh, wait, where'd it go? Hold on, I'll pull it up in a second. The internet here is not my friend. But I think it's going to be something along the yes, here we go. Basically, that playing Jericho Sims tonight was, here we go. Tibbs said he played Jericho Sims over Noel and Tyus tonight because we want to get a look at Jericho. Said he wanted him to gain some more experience. So there you go. There's another domino, towards this team starting to get some more looks at youth. Maybe who knows? Maybe at this rate, maybe we see Deuce in the next week or two. We'll see. Drew P, what's going on, Drew? Developing RJ is more important than anything. No disagreement there. What RJ does over the next 6 weeks is by far the most important thing where this franchise is concerned. And you got to keep him happy, too. Stevens Guillaume, RJ is a star. Hope you and your family are having a great vacation. We are having a great vacation. Thank you for asking. Again, for anybody who doesn't know, I've been down in Palm Beach for the last week. Leaving tomorrow, heading back. It's been relaxing. Definitely been enjoying getting away from it all. Not that this team has been trying on me. But it's been great. So, but look, we got 22 games left, so looking forward to that too. Forgotten NYC. Good question here. Gun to your head, is Julius gone in the summer? Ooh, boy. Julius gone in the summer. I still think it would have to be the right deal. Someone would have to want him. Someone would have to want him, and someone would need to be willing. Someone would need to be willing to look at him and say, we believe that there's still a really helpful player in there. Maybe not even a number 2 on a title team, but so like the teams that come up again and again and again. I wrote about them, I think, on Monday, right? Teams that are like kind of desperate, who have a player that they need to appease, whether it's Portland with Dame or Washington with Bradley Beal. Those are the two obvious ones to me. And like both of those teams could put together packages. Obviously, you'd kill to get an Anthony Simons on your team. But like the Knicks are not gonna, they're not gonna salary dump him. I just don't see this front office operating that way. Maybe I'm wrong. I kind of hope. I would love to see him gone. I've maintained that. I know what he's done over the last 7 games before tonight. All I care about is that it's increased his trade value. He's not someone that I want to be in business with moving forward. But we'll see. Gun to my head, do I think he's gone? No. I hope I'm wrong. Yuri Pereira. Geez, John, this is one of those nights where you don't see a future for Mitchell Robinson. He did basically close to nothing. So, again, this is good comment, but this is nothing new for Mitch, unfortunately. When he plays really great centers like a Bam Adebayo, Bam Adebayo completely neutralizes him. He's not going to get on the offensive glass against a Bam Adebayo. And he's certainly not going to be able to do anything on offense. He's not going to be able to get his bullshit lobs that he gets against these teams that are half asleep, that give up those things against a team like the Miami Heat. You're just not getting that. And that's why ultimately at the end of the day, the Knicks should are wise to draw a line in the sand and say, this is what we think you're worth. And we're not going to go over that. Now, what is that number? Is it 12? Is it 13? Is it 14? Is it 2? Is it 3 years? Is it, maybe a little bit of guaranteed money in the 4th year? Do you even need to go that far? I don't know. But the problem now, and look, this front office is going to be really tested because they look like shit after last offseason, and they have a chance to have some real egg on their face this offseason. if this Mitch thing goes aside, because they had God knows how many opportunities to make sure that they at the very least got something for this dude. They could have made him restricted last summer. They said they didn't want to do that. They had a chance to trade him at this deadline for reasons that maybe will come out more clearly in the coming months. They didn't do that either. You cannot lose him for nothing. That would be an abomination as a franchise if you lost him for nothing. But if some stupid team comes away and blows him away with some 4 for $70 offer or something, are you supposed to match that if you're the Knicks? No, that's bad money. At the same time, I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do. I hope they know what they're doing, though. That's for shit sure. Alex, what's going on, Alex? RJ deserves so much better than this front office and fossil of a head coach. There we go. Of course, we get our comment blaming Tibbs tonight. I have zero interest in more Tibbs. 2 minutes for Deuce is a disgrace. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe RJ will get traded this summer, and you could go root for that team. I don't really know. Hush Zoo. Hold on here. Here we go. RJ really had 50% of the Knicks points. I can't keep watching quick throw overhead passes out of bounds. Play Deuce. Trade Randall, Fournier, and Burks. Cam is very odd to watch. He's good and bad. So Cam is more bad than good. A player who does a thing once or twice or 3 times a game that's cool and exciting and fun, but the rest of the time kind of stinks. That's an exciting rookie. Maybe it's an exciting second-year player. It's usually not a very exciting third-year player. But we'll see. I'm happy to attribute it to rust for a little while longer. I'm curious what he looks like if he gets 20, 25 minutes a game. We'll see that, I'm sure, in due time. Yeah, play Deuce, please. Quickly's, struggling, but give him. Again, this roster is still bereft of talent. They tried to get some more talent in the building this summer. They failed, and the young talent has been uneven. So play him, let him work through the kinks. I still believe in Quickly. Moving forward, and we'll see what happens. As far as trading Randall, Fournier, Burks, you gotta find teams who want those players. Here's another one from Hush Zoo. With all these reports, do you go for Zion? Outside of bringing in a point guard, the Knicks need to finally get a stretch. I'm assuming. Would you offer Brunson 4 for 80 or 4 for 85? I don't. Either one. I don't really care. To me, if you have a guy that is a true dribble pass shoot threat who is not going to be played off the floor on defense and who most importantly is consistent, which is the difference between a guy like Jalen Brunson and a guy like Tim Hardaway Jr. or Evan Fournier. Jalen Brunson, I think there are a little bit more questions defensively for him than there are for a guy like, a Malcolm Brogdon or a guy like Fred VanVleet. You'd love to put Brunson in the Brogdon VanVleet mode. He's a little small, and VanVleet's a fucking bulldog on defense. At the same time, if you tell me that I could get Brunson for 4 for 80 or even 4 for 85 today, would I do it? Yeah, I'd do it. He's a good basketball player. He's always going to be a good basketball player. He's always going to help your team win games. And worst case scenario, you're going to be able to trade that contract. So, yes, I would do that in a second. Their need for a stretch 5, yeah, it'd be nice. I think it's a little overblown. And then Zion, yeah, of course you go for Zion. But it's what's the price? We'll see. Jason M. IQ needs minutes with RJ and Randall, not with the bench unit. That's fair. He got some minutes with those guys in the fourth quarter. Didn't work out so well. But happy to give him more. It's that time of the season again where you're throwing shit against the wall, and seeing what sticks. And look, only good could come of it, right? Because worst case scenario, you give the young players more experience, they fall flat on their face, and then you kind of at least know what you have. Like these guys don't have a ton of trade value anyway. So one more from Alex. Zion sure took note of tonight's game. I'm sure he's already envisioning himself on this roster with RJ and yes, Cam after Julius Randle gets moved. Something tells me that Zion Williamson may not be making his decision on where he would like to request a trade to based on Cam Reddish, but it can't hurt, right? We'll see. Bad eyesight. What's going on, bad eyesight? With everything going on in the world, I can't complain about this stupid team. Good call on that one. Comment of the night. I'm happy Mitch's family is okay. Yeah, his dad, I think there was some worry that something was going on with his dad. Shocked he's with the team. Stay safe. Yeah, that's the other thing about Mitch tonight, we should say. Was he a little distracted? I don't know. Mitch doesn't necessarily, I don't know. I shouldn't say anything. We should give Mitch the benefit of the doubt tonight. Didn't have a great game. Maybe some stuff was on his mind. I admittedly forgot about that until just now, but you never know. Vasilis Papas, what's going on? RJ's progress is insane. Is he an alpha? Good morning from Greece. Go Knicks. Go Olympiacos. Yes, good morning to you. To Greece. Is RJ an alpha? I mean, he certainly carries himself like an alpha, but here's the good news, right? Any NBA team that is worth a damn has two alphas. The question is, do you have an alpha or do you have two alphas that can make each other better? Do you have two alphas that can complement one another? I think RJ Barrett is capable of complementing another great player and being complemented by another great player. Who is that player? We'll see. I think, the playmaking, you still want to see a little bit more there. But again, happy to be patient with that. Tonight's certainly not the night to pick nits about RJ Barrett. He's freaking awesome, and he was freaking awesome tonight. But again, only 2 assists. Although, you know what? He was letting the game come to him, and the Heat were basically saying, look, if you're going to beat us, beat us. They weren't sending hard doubles. And by the way, when they sent the hard double, he made the pass. And that I loved. There was a sequence in the fourth quarter, one of the few good sequences they had in the fourth quarter, where I think the double came, although maybe there was a double on Randall, I'm forgetting. But I thought when the pass was there to be made, I thought RJ made the pass tonight. So, good job by him. Another one from Alex. What miracle does Tibbs need at this point to make it to next year? I don't think he needs a miracle. I think the front office needs to feel like they're all on the same page. Again, this notion that I'm not going to get into the Tibbs thing tonight, but it's not about X's and O's, and it's not about. I mean, it is about rotations, but it's not about rotations. He's the guy they hired. If they decide they want someone different than the guy they hired, they'll go in a different direction. That's really all I can tell you. I think RJ developing into a star in the second half is the only saving grace for him. No, RJ's development is not Tibbs' job is going to be saved or not saved based on other stuff. That has nothing to do with RJ Barrett. I mean, maybe RJ Barrett goes to bat for him, and that'll probably help. But there's a lot of other stuff at play, and that'll play out. I at this point, if you ask me, do I think he's back? I know I made a prediction today that I think he would be. I don't know. I think it's coin flip. ML Nair, tough loss, but hey, the missed free throws. Tough loss, but hey, they missed free throws, but many of those turnovers were from guys not used to playing with each other. Yeah, which is going to be one of the many challenges they face down the stretch as young players continue to play together who have not played together and who probably are not ready to play big minutes in an NBA game. But this is what people want, and this is what we're gonna get. JD, an efficient 46 points against the Heat defense. Yeah, all that needs to be said about this game, at least. All right, we got over 100 likes, or we have 100 likes. If you are enjoying this or want to help us out, feel free to hit the old like button. And thank you, everybody, for coming and hanging out on a Friday night. I'm sure there are better things to do than commiserate about this miserable team. But we do have one good thing tonight, so I'm happy others can join me in this muted celebration of RJ Barrett's career evening. Forgotten NYC, did you catch that weird Batman and RJ commercial? I did not, because I'm watching. I watched tonight on the Heat's feed. I heard about it. I will watch it at some point. I apologize. I can't comment on it because I haven't seen it, but I did hear about it. Kevin Danishevsky. All right, here we go. I think we got a fake trade coming. If the Knicks get a top 5 pick, then does Quick plus Randall plus that pick, which could be an Ivy type, or hey, maybe Jaden Ivey, and plus whatever other picks are needed to get it done. Maybe throw in Cam. I know the young player, but top 5 is great. Where did I pitch this? I think I pitched on Monday. I pitched I pitched a few fake Julius Randle trades. And I think I put it, if the Knicks get in the top 4, they could trade that pick plus Randall, plus whatever other picks, maybe another young player, to New Orleans for Zion. And New Orleans would have to send back salary as well. Does Mitch go back in that deal? I mean, Mitch is from New Orleans, but then you'd probably be talking about Valanciunas coming back. Valanciunas is not a Thibodeau center, so more reason that they might show Tibbs the door. If you get Valanciunas back in the deal, like, I guess you're not playing Zion at the 5, but then again, he probably doesn't want to play at the 5. Like, I don't know. There's so many things. But then again, like, I don't know. If I get a top 5 pick in the draft, not top 5. I think, like, to me, I haven't fully dug into this draft yet, but my impression of this draft is that, like, I think Smith and Holmgren are, like, legit, real deal. Like, get those guys if you can get them. I think Ivy is in that category. You know, you get into the Banchero, like, there's some question marks there, and then you get into your AJ Griffins, and, like, does the kid from Kentucky declare, and, like, all this other stuff. I don't know, but, like, if you get a pick that high, do you want to trade it for a guy plus whatever else you have to give up with the track record of a Zion? I think, I don't know. I think a lot of people would. I think probably smart. The easy decision would be to make the trade, especially if a guy like Zion wants to come to your franchise despite all the issues. Like, he's a franchise changer. And you pair him with RJ Barrett. I mean, but I don't know. Depends. They have to get into that top of the draft first, and that's not going to be easy. Kevin Danishevsky with one more. Something minor I noticed. I rarely ever see RJ miss a free throw short anymore. He almost always misses long or to the side. With his 3, not too worried. Yeah, I'm not worried about the free throw shooting. I think it's like a season-long blip. I'm not worried about it, though. Quentin Grimes just tweeted out, thank you, Andrew Claudio, for passing this along. Everything's all good, y'all. Good to hear. Good to hear, Quentin. And Juanon. Obi needs a jumper before he plays more than 15 minutes per game unless there are players to stretch the floor at every other spot. He's a 6'7" center. Right now he is, and he's a 6'7" center who doesn't bring a lot of toughness and can't really rebound that well and has, I'll say, limited rim protection abilities. So what did I just describe? A not terribly helpful player. But, He's going to get time. I hope the jump shot comes along. I love Obi Toppin. I still believe in Obi Toppin. I want to see more of Obi Toppin. I'm a big fan of Obi Toppin. He's just not a terribly helpful player right now, especially without a guy like Rose to help, or any real point guard to help throw him passes. It's just amazing how limited this team is. But, this is what they are. Robert Cross, I think this might be our last comment of the night. John, I don't want Zion. I have more confidence in Dunkin' Donuts than him. Look, I think the Zion conversation is going to run for the rest of the year and into the offseason. I think I'll end by saying this. I'll end with a Zion point and an RJ point. If you can get a Zion Williamson on your team, you kind of have to do it unless you are convinced. Like if you could get him without giving up like a top 4 pick in this draft, like it's not even a question. Like give up whatever future bullshit you have to give up. If you talk about giving up a top 4 pick in this draft, to say no to that deal, you have to be convinced Jaden Ivey is like, poor man's John Morant or something. Or like Chet Holmgren is like what we always wanted Porzingis to be, or like whatever. Like, because the talent is there with Zion, and he is, when he's on the floor, he's absolutely a game-changing force. As far as like, how does he affect the team's culture? Can you build a winning culture around that guy? In terms of like I don't know how you judge how the whole New Orleans thing has gone. Like Anthony Davis kind of gave up on New Orleans, and that dude won a championship. He also was with LeBron James. So I don't know. I just don't know. It's a really complicated situation. And by the way, again, it's not like the Knicks are going to be the only team bidding for his services. There will be so many other teams that will say, we want in on this guy if he's available this summer. So we'll see. That said, I'm going to end on an RJ point, and I'll just say I'm not holding my breath for Zion. I'm not holding my breath for anybody. If I'm a Knicks fan, which I am, sadly, and I'm looking to go to sleep tonight with a smile on my face, and for the rest of this year, I'm saying, look, I think we have a front office that may not be great, but has learned from maybe their mistakes over the last few years. And at the very least, after 2.5 seasons at the helm, we'll be able to regroup this summer and say, okay, we have all of our picks. We're going to have a good pick in this draft. We have some interesting young talent. And we have one guy who we know is part of our future. Given where we have been, the Knicks have been as a franchise over the last 20 years, there are a lot worse places to be than that. So if you have confidence still in the front office, they know what they're doing, and I'm not saying that you necessarily should, because I'm not sure they've earned it. But if you do have that confidence and you think that they've been able to maybe perhaps learn from their mistakes, the fact that they have this kid to build around, I think that's enough to make you feel good moving forward. I think the pick this year will matter. I think what they do with Julius will matter. I think another player or two on this team has to pop. But all things considered, tonight was a step in the right direction for the Knicks, and it was a massive leap in the right direction for RJ Barrett. So, shitty game, but we've had a lot of them this season. On that note, I'm signing off. Thanks everybody for coming and joining me on a Friday night. And I will see you back from the normal friendly confines on Sunday afternoon. Peace out. All right.